Hi, my name is Crystal, and I just want to take a few minutes to share a little bit about my experience at the eal-Thy Women's Retreat that I attended with Ahaumna and 3 other beautiful soul sisters in her gorgeous temple home in South Carolina. First, I'd like to say that I've been working with Ahaumna for quite a few years now, and she has continued to grow exponentially in knowledge, wisdom, intuition, and just pure magical ability and devotion. And this really makes her such a clear mirror for self-realization and self-reflection. She's really a wonderful healer to work with because she's so soft and nurturing and accepting, and she can also give a little bit of a kick in the ass with love, of course, when there's resistance coming up to some of the practices that that you'll do with her. Sometimes I definitely needed a little bit more of a push to surrender to the processes, and I was so thankful that she was able to provide that so that I could really get the most out of this experience. Forgive me if you see me referencing my notes, because I tried to record this several times and there's just so much that wanted to come out that it was hard to get it out clearly. During my first session with Ahaumna almost a decade ago, she told me that she intended to rebuild the temples and that we and other sisters would play and heal in them again, and she stayed true to that word, as she does to all of her words. The temple space is so comfortable and exquisite. It's just so beautiful and safe feeling, and so is the intimate bubble that was created with the women that I shared this experience with. Every one of them was so inspiring and loving and accepting and supportive. For me, sharing this experience as a group made it so much more profound. Even the land and its etheric guardians create such a safe, nurturing, and truly magical environment for you to get the most out of this retreat. I went into the retreat just feeling very broken and hopeless. Physically, my health was at an all-time low, and none of the doctors I had seen locally could find anything wrong with me. Mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, I felt sort of like a broken compass. I really had no idea where my true north was, and just felt like my needle was kind of constantly spinning in crazy directions, so I was just lost. I knew that this retreat, attending it, would be the key to ending that cycle of suffering and really coming home into myself and realizing how much trauma was conditioning my behavior, even subconsciously, and I was just really able to release all of that, because I just truly didn't desire to be experiencing these things anymore. And so yes, I expected a lot because I know Ahaumna delivers, and I still received so much more than I anticipated, even with my high expectations. Let's see. The live blood testing, first off, is amazing. Just to be able to see what's really going on inside your body in real time is such a gift. And for me personally, I had a deep systemic pathogenic infection that presented itself in every one of my blood cells, not that there were many. And that would be something that would be scary to me if I was in a doctor's office and received that kind of news. But I knew that I was going to receive such profound healing that I was just relieved to finally know what was really going on with my body. We spent hours over the week in the nanoplasmoid oxygen tub, which is just healing on so many levels. It's almost indescribable, the transcendental experiences that I had in that tub. By the end of the retreat, the infection was completely cleared. I have extensive spinal injury, which has been debilitating. for much of my life. Ahaumna was able to teach me practices to restructure and open my spine, and I've been implementing them daily, and I have been able to run and play without pain in my body. And I used to even have trouble going upstairs. It was very difficult, slow process for me, and now I run up and down the stairs with absolutely no pain. I went from having chronic fatigue and napping sometimes several times a day to now having all the energy that I need to get through even long task-intensive days. My physical body just feels ecstatic and light and free, and I haven't felt this way since I was a teenager. The energetic practices and healing modalities are so powerful, more powerful than any I've ever experienced. And there were times that my body just felt on fire in the best way. So much energy was moving through me, and I could literally feel my nervous system recalibrating. Even though we were doing intensive work every single day, all day, I never felt tired or like I needed to tap out. I just felt supported in such a way that I could completely surrender to these practices, and I just yearned for more because every day I felt better. I was feeling the transformation in my physical being, and I was seeing the transformation in my physical being, and I was feeling the transformation in my inner being in such a deep way that I just knew my life was going to be different leaving here. Even Alex, Ahaumna's partner, was such an amazing support. He left the home for the time so that it would be a sacred woman's space, but he still brought us supplies and gave us advice with his extensive knowledge of healing technologies and supplements and herbs. He had an answer for everything we needed, and it was amazing to have him as a support as well. I was so grateful that I left with an extensive protocol and an abundance of resources and support to continue my journey of growth and healing and expansion at home. When I left the retreat, I was driving my car down the road, and I had an 8.5 hour drive home, and the whole drive just felt ecstatic. I was literally at times maniacally just laughing with joy. I couldn't believe how amazing and free I felt. And, you know, like I said, just being guided, it's not just for the retreat, it's the time afterwards too. You're being guided and supported. So this feeling, I knew that I could maintain it and that it would stay with me. I have been home for 2 weeks now, and the feedback that I've gotten from the people in my life just hasn't slowed, and it's been so validating to my experience, not even that I needed it, but before I could even share everything that I went through, my friends and family, they're exclaiming things like, wow, you're radiating. I can feel the powerful energy coming from you. Your eyes are just sparkling. They've always been beautiful, but there was always a sadness in them, and it's gone now. Your life force energy just feels back in full force. It's so fierce, and like just comments like that every day that I'm getting from people, because the healing is so true and profound that people witness it on me right away. I've been truly loving myself and being in devotion to and in relationship with myself in a way that I've never felt worthy of before. I'm so aligned with that true north that I talked about now, that even being a slight degree off, it comes through so clearly, and I'm so easily able to release things and with ease realize what's not in alignment with keeping this joyful, powerful, loving, whole part of whole being that I am now. And I mean, I'm not willing to let this feeling go. So it's just been so easy to make so many radical changes in my life. I told my family that I was going to come home a new woman, and I was definitely correct. Everything that I need and desire just magnetizes to me now. I'm in love with life again when I had all but given up on even wanting to be here. I went from having financial troubles to now, since I've been home, I get sent home from work almost every day with pay, and they've never done that before. I'm even in love with food and cooking again in a way that's just so nourishing to my body and soul. I left with a list of foods that would have the most value for my body specifically and what I was working on healing and rebuilding. And I wanted to find the cleanest, most perfect versions of these foods. So this has stretched me to really dig into what resources I have available in my own community. And I was blown away by the number of conscious, loving people that were eager to help me, and the pure high-grade food available to me in my own town. And I had never realized this before. It's definitely deepened my sense of community and belonging and safety and where I am in a really powerful way. Basically, I could go on for hours about the value of this retreat for me and how it has expanded and enhanced every aspect of my life. But I'll spare you all that and just say that the retreat was by far the most valuable investment that I have ever made in myself. And I will be eternally grateful for all the magical experiences. And so if you're feeling called to be a part of this, don't hesitate, please. Love you.